Your mind is lying to you every single day. It whispers, "Don't do it. You'll fail." They'll laugh and you believe it. Most people don't realize it, but the heaviest chains you carry are not on your wrists. They're in your head. This is the story of Ari, a young man with dreams, talent and ambition, buried under the weight of his own thoughts. Ari wasn't lazy. He wasn't weak. In fact, he was the kind of person people admired. Always thinking, always analysing, always responsible. But behind closed doors, his mind never let him rest. He'd lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, his brain looping through mistakes from 5 years ago. What he should have said, what he could have done better. Then, without pause, his thoughts would leap into the future. What if he fails tomorrow? What if people find out he's not good enough? His mind was supposed to protect him, but it was slowly destroying him. One morning, Ari dragged himself into work, late again, coffee in hand, eyes red. His boss gave him that look. His co-workers laughed about something across the room, and Ari's brain instantly decided, "They're laughing at you." He smiled, pretending to be fine. But inside, he was drowning. "Great job, Ari. Another late day, another failure. You'll never get promoted." That voice was always with him. It wasn't a boss. It wasn't his parents. It was his own mind. Later that night, alone in his apartment, he stood by the mirror. He barely recognized himself. Dark circles, hunched shoulders, the weight of invisible baggage pressing down. And for the first time, he whispered out loud, "Is this what my life is going to be?" Life has a way of piling storms on storms. Ari's father fell ill. At the same time, his closest friend betrayed his trust. Work pressure doubled. Deadlines, bills, hospital visits. Silence at night filled with noise in his head. He tried to be strong. He told people he was fine. But every word he spoke in public was drowned by 1,000 doubts in private. His body started fighting back. Insomnia, headaches, chest pains. One evening, on the rooftop of his building, Ari looked at the city lights and whispered, "I can't do this anymore." And that's when she appeared again. Anya, a woman he had met briefly years ago at a seminar. A mentor. Quiet, steady. At the time, her words meant nothing to him. But now, when he was most broken, she returned. She didn't give advice. She asked questions. "What is it you're carrying?" He laughed bitterly. "My whole life, apparently." Anya didn't argue. She simply said, "Come with me tomorrow night. Bring nothing but yourself." The next evening, she led him to an empty field, far from the noise, no phones, no music, just a cool night air and 1,000 silent stars. "Sit," she said. They sat. "Now, empty your mind." Ari almost laughed again. "My mind? Empty? You're joking, right?" But she just smiled. "Try. 1 minute, nothing else. Just breathe." Reluctantly, Ari closed his eyes. At first, the noise was louder than ever. Bills, betrayal, deadlines, his father's health. But then, for the first time in years, he noticed something else. The wind, the rhythm of his breath, his chest rising and falling. And for one brief moment, there was no noise, just silence. It scared him and comforted him at the same time. The next weeks became Ari's silent battle. Every evening he returned to that field. Every evening he tried to empty his mind. Sometimes he failed. He'd sit down, close his eyes, and within seconds his brain screamed, "You forgot to pay that bill! You're wasting time! They'll all leave you!" But slowly, painfully slowly, he learned not to fight the thoughts, not to wrestle them, just to watch them drift past like leaves on a stream. One night, an old memory surfaced. his father laughing, his mother singing a lullaby. For the first time, instead of clinging to the past, he let the memory float away with gratitude. Another night, betrayal came to mind, his friends' lies. Rage boiled inside him. He wanted to scream, to curse, to replay the fight in his head. But then, he let that too drift away. Each release was like setting down a stone from a heavy backpack. And slowly, his shoulders lifted, his breath deepened, the cage in his mind cracked. Months passed. Ari didn't become a saint. He still faced stress. People still betrayed him. Life still threw storms. But his inner world changed. When his father recovered, Ari sat by his bed, not with guilt, but with gratitude. When work pressured him, he handled it without breaking. When loneliness struck, he found silence was no longer an enemy, it was an ally. Anya looked at him one evening and asked, "How do you feel?" And Ari answered, "Free. Not from life, but from the chains inside my head." This is not just Ari's story. This is yours. Right now your mind might be full of regrets from the past, full of fear about tomorrow, full of noise that never stops. But listen carefully. You don't need to silence every thought. You don't need to control everything. You only need to let go, long enough to hear yourself again. Try it, tonight. Close your eyes. Breathe. Watch the thoughts come and go like clouds. Don't hold them. Don't fight them. Let them pass, and when they do, you'll discover something shocking. The world doesn't fall apart when you let go. It finally begins. So here's my challenge to you. This week, empty your mind for 1 minute a day. Just one. Give yourself the gift of silence. Because when you do, you'll finally see what Ari saw. That fear was never holding you back. It was only waiting for you to rise. If this story touched you, subscribe to Echoes of Hope. Here we share stories that remind you of one truth. You are braver than you believe. You are stronger than your fear. And your time is coming. Empty your mind and let your soul breathe.